Sound
on.
Bienvenidos
Hi, guys.
al programa que no
Hi
es
guys,
juego.
welcome to 2020 on this Tuesday. Is it Tuesday?
It
It's
is
Tuesday.
With the new year, I cannot remember what day it is.
What day is today?
Didn't the
But
New Year start on a Wednesday?
honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the New Year started on a Saturday. Friday was New Year's Eve. No, Saturday was New
No,
Year's
Tuesday
Eve.
was New Year's Eve.
So yeah, New Year started on a Wednesday. This is gonna be an awkward year.
All right. Well, anyway, my name
Awkward,
is
but great
Jackie
year.
Birch. I'm here with B, Teddy, and Hector, and we are here to talk about
I miss my goggles.
the millennial things. Hector misses his goggles. I still don't understand what that means, but maybe we'll get to find that out. So with the new year brings a bunch of new things. I hope that everybody enjoyed their holiday, whatever you celebrate, whatever you did, wherever you were. I hope it was great. Hector said that his holiday was nice and peaceful, and I wish the same to all of you.
So how's the rest of your holidays then?
My holiday?
Yeah. Tell us about your trip to New York.
Oh my God, my trip to New York.
Did you see a Nintendo store?
No, I went to Long Island. I went back home to Long Island. I always say I'm like the off-brand of New York. I'm not actually from the city, although I would love to be. But I can't change where I was brought up. But no, I was in Long Island, and yeah, I got pretty lucky with the weather and everything. But I think just being down here, especially with the summer that we had, how hot it was, really made me appreciate the 40s.
Absolutely.
But only for a few days.
Yeah, it's like snow is really great and really fun until you actually have to be in it for more than 3 days, and you're like, oh, it gets gray.
Totally.
Oh, now it's slush. Oh, and then like all your clothes are wet, and then you just hate your life. And you're like, wow, I wish I was back in Florida.
Is it
Well,
weird?
yeah, my boyfriend even said, he was like, Jack, like, let's go back to New York or Long Island sometime in January or February. And I was like, Andres, it's not like a winter wonderland.
I think
where
that's what they think. Yeah.
Yeah, because I even showed him a little bit of outside, and it was just gray and cloudy. And he was like, "Oh my God, you have a white Christmas!" And I was like, "No, it's about to pour."
Well, it's only white. Well, it's only white when it's actually snowing. After the day after, it gets like you get the cars going, and the cars going, and it starts getting all black and gray and kind of wet, but still cold outside.
It's gross,
Yeah.
but you know, just like everything,
That's true.
it's only lasting so long. But yeah, I think that with the new year, we put so much pressure on ourselves to be something better, to do something better, and to do something more productive.
Well, you put in all the resolutions that it's
Right.
the same resolution you put in every year, and you know you're not going to do it.
Absolutely.
I
And
know.
I never had the same resolution every year.
What's
That's kind of
yours?
odd.
Tell us your New Year's resolution for this year.
It's kind of personal and strangely existential.
Okay.
Like
well,
most
right,
things I
give us
do.
just more productivity.
Fun.
yeah.
My New Year's resolution, I think, is just to let the little things go.
Yeah.
I just had a whole conversation with Dawn about how my ending of the year went, and it was full of stress. And I think that a lot of people can also relate to that. Teddy also got strep throat
Yes.
this last week of the year.
Oh.
I
my.
did. It was so great. I missed the entire new year because I had strep throat and tonsillitis.
Oh
and then
my
I found out I'm
God.
allergic to penicillin. So
Oh my God.
I'm starting
Wow.
out great for this year.
Wow.
Remember, Teddy? I feel like I gave it to you. Remember, I was like, I have a little sore throat, and you're
Yeah,
like,
but
no
you were like, I
worries.
have a small sore throat, and I would like had to go to 2 urgent cares because they
Oh
were
my
like, yeah,
God.
that's bad.
Oh, no.
Wow.
So like, I do not wish that on you.
Yeah, I even
So
came
I
back
hope
from
that's
New
not what
York.
you
sick.
went
Well,
through.
look at the bright side. It's been a rough start. Rough start can possibly get rougher.
That's
Don't
true.
jinx me.
But that just leads to, you know, we deal with so much anxiety in general, and especially with the new year coming in. I think that us as millennials or
Yeah.
people in general, honestly,
for once,
just deal with the stress and the
differently.
pressure of, okay, well, what am I going to do? And I think that for myself, what I did for this new year is not put pressure on myself so much to do something better, but to just add on to the things that I know I need to improve. So, for example, like talking about it, I deal with a lot of stress because I stress myself out. And I think
That's what
that
you do when you're from New York. is
That's
you
what
just
you
give
do.
yourself stress. Yeah.
your
That's my
mind
entire
goes a
family.
mile a
You kind of
minute.
have.
Yeah.
I know. I probably remember being. I think I've only been there like once in the last 2 years, and I think you kind of have to have that sort of, I guess, stamina and level
Yeah.
of awareness because so many people, so many
Totally.
places, you kind of, if you, like I said, doze off for even a half a second, you're gonna
Right.
miss something. Or
It's
step
go,
on
go,
somebody
go,
else's-
go, go. And
or
I
step
think
on somebody's
that
foot, drop something important,
Right.
that kind of junk.
Yeah.
that's something that's good and bad. I think that I'm learning more that it's bad because you're not slowing down and realizing
Well,
that
not
you're still a
everywhere's like-
human being.
It's just like not everywhere's like that.
Right, but I also think that with life, you can't
Yeah.
take that kind of approach because
No, I
then you're just
fully
never
agree.
gonna sit down and just realize that, you know, you're a human being and you're
Yeah.
doing X, Y, and Z. You don't have to get it all done. So I think for this New Year's resolution, I think that we should all just aim to think about ourselves more, and no matter what we're all going through, know that it will get better.
I think you have to forgive yourself a bit this year. A lot of people that I've talked to have not, they do something wrong and they start stressing about it, and they stress about their consequences, and they can't calm down from it. I know I do that too. And just like you said, calm down, forgive yourself. Like if you do something wrong, just know that something else will happen and will come of it.
Well, what are some ways that you use to calm down? Like you were saying you had a lot of stress. So yoga, or what is your way?
So I exercise a lot.
Jackie runs 10-mile marathons.
No, I don't.
Crazy.
I wish I did.
Like daily?
But one thing that's been a struggle for me, even
knees.
coming into the new year, is I twisted my ankle. So I couldn't really run.
Gosh.
And I'm still like not really being able to do it. And I've really relied on that to kind of just ignore my stresses.
Yeah.
And even to get personal, I had a conversation with my boyfriend last night about relieving guilt, because, him and I have been together for a year now, and, a lot happens in a year. And this past year, even for me, was the most hectic year I've ever had, good and bad. But, I really dealt with a lot of life lessons that I never really got to sit down and say, it's okay. Like, this is a part of me, and it doesn't ruin me, and you're only going to grow from here. And just to add on to that, how do you deal with the stress? I told him, I said, look, I see you. I see you're dealing with a lot of guilt, and guilt is the number one killer. Like, it's going to kill you. The rest of your life, you're going to hold on to guilt about one little thing. You're never going to be happy. Even when you think that you're being happy, you get frustrated because you feel like you're putting on a face. So what I was really saying is we have to talk about it. Yeah. And there's no shame in that. And even myself, I just told Dawn I've humbled up and been able to ask for help this past year, and that's what I'm walking away with the new year.
Good for you.
Yeah. But it's hard to ask for help.
It is.
And that's okay.
And you feel the guilt of asking for help.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people in my family, they don't want to ask for help because now that they feel guilty, like, oh, I can't do it or I did something wrong, but they feel guilty that they're inconveniencing someone else.
Putting a burden on someone else. But what you need to do is just surround yourself with the people that it's not a job for them, and that the people that truly love you.
Yeah. Because they want to. They want to help you. Yeah.
I mean, I know if any of you guys or any of my other friends or anybody else came to me and said, can you just talk to me for a second? I'd drop what I had to do. Yeah. Because it's an established relationship. And I think that I learned people who were not that for me and people who were that for me. And no matter what anybody went through, it is a new decade. It's the roaring 20s.
Yes, and some of the things that we hoped wouldn't come back did come back, and some of the things we really do hope come back will come back.
What came back that you didn't want to come back?
Oh,
a trend?
Let's start with just start with the beginning.
Non-political.
Non-political.
Yes.
No.
I'm
talking like fanny pack.
You just got rid of half my stuff right there.
I know. Exactly what you're going to say.
Teddy was like,
non-political. We're non-political and non-religious on this show because I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay, let's start what about a trend?
Okay, I just really hope.
You like high-waisted jeans, flare jeans,
right? I was like,
short hair, long hair.
I was saying I was gonna hope electro swing becomes trendy again, but that's just.
What's electro sway?
It's like a genre of music, and it's
my suggestion. Look up Power of Stellar and thank me later.
Okay, all right, everybody, really you have a project out there today to look up Power of Stella.
Power of Stellar.
Someone out there is hating me right now that I don't know it is.
The band is like, what a bad word.
What a beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You don't have to hate me because Hector's giving me the eye.
Yes. So. Wait, can we? No, we can't. I was like, can we just zoom out?
Now you know why every time I ever did the 2020 show, I always had a pair of goggles on.
Well, you know what, Hector?
Goggles.
The goggles are off, so be authentically you today.
No, that's the thing.
I need those
goggles. I need those goggles. I need those goggles to rein me in.
No, don't hold yourself back.
Maybe he gets a little bit more confidence with his goggles.
Put your goggles on.
I certainly get more
just
anonymity.
envision them in your head.
But I certainly get a little more anonymity when I wear these things.
Everybody.
Oh God.
What?
And zoom.
Hector with his goggles are honestly just everything that we need.
Do you have anything that you wear or something that you do that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable? Maybe.
Do you want to laugh really hard? I'm really gonna expose myself.
I'm ready.
I'm not even kidding. Like, I was doing this just like.
Say it again.
I didn't even say it.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Yeah, you tried to and just corpsed out for like 2
I
seconds.
heard my butt and I was like,
No,
take it off?
I did this just to be fun
Okay.
and like make myself feel cool because one thing I've always wanted to do is wear glasses. And as a kid, I always wanted
literally
to.
wear mine.
Well, I literally bought a fake pair of glasses off of Amazon and wore them to school, wore them to work. I really made people think that I needed a prescription until I met my boyfriend, and he saw right through me. And because I never wore them around him, because I was like, this is going to be super embarrassing because he actually does wear glasses. And he saw me out one time with my mom when she came to visit, and I had my little fake glasses on, my goggle.
Right? That's
And he just stopped and looked at me, and he was like, "You are unbelievable."
Aww, I have a pair of
That's
glasses
hilarious.
I don't wear them anymore. I'm too embarrassed.
I have mine. I keep them out.
Please wear them for the show.
I can't wear them around friends. I can only do it if nobody knows me.
Do you have fake glasses too?
Yes, I have fake glasses, but I can't.
You wear them to like Starbucks or
yes.
something in the
When I'm like alone, I pull them out, and I'm
really
like,
just bring a fake
I don't
ID
know
to
what it
Starbucks. I don't
is.
really understand glasses.
a fake
stuff.
ID to Starbucks.
that's doing too much.
Technically a felony,
right? I'm like,
No, not really. It's not really a felony if it's not a felony if you don't get money out of it.
It's my alter
Okay.
ego, and her name's Bianca, and she wears glasses.
Bianca.
Yes.
Mine's Jessica. I
don't
literally
know
have one. I
why.
kid you
It's
not.
our glasses.
Teddy's
alter-
like dying right now.
Teddy actually has to wear glasses and
know.
hates them, and like I wear contacts because I hate wearing glasses so much. The fact that like you guys want glasses so
don't know
badly
what
is
it
so
is.
odd to me.
You know what I think it is? I was young. I was always really, really young, and I would watch like Lizzie McGuire and Hannah Montana, and there was probably like a publicity picture of her or
with glasses.
one of the girls from Boy Meets World or whatever show I was into wearing glasses, and I was like, I need those.
It's like that scene from Mean Girls.
I need those.
I saw her wearing flip flops and a baggy T-shirt, so I bought flip flops and a baggy T-shirt.
No, but yeah, literally.
No, it's true. I think that, you know, people with that platform have a really big responsibility.
And more than they know, I feel like.
More than they know. Because, you know, I grew up and I still remember, you know, Topanga and everybody from whatever show I was into. Yeah. And those people, you grow up with them, you almost feel a tie to them. I know I've watched Friends my entire life.
I've never seen Friends.
Oh my God, I can recite any episode. I had to stop watching it because I would just
That's
recite
The Office for me.
But it's so different depending on what show you watch. Because growing up, I had an older sister. And so when like everyone else got to watch like Boy Meets World and Friends, I had to watch like South Park and like TLC and MTV because my sister's 6 years older than me.
That's how my sister
So
was.
like I grew up wearing, and she used to dress me up like a doll. So I grew up wearing like ripped black jeans and combat boots.
Cool.
And
Yeah,
I
you
was
were
like
really
the
cool.
punkiest 6-year-old you've ever met.
Oh my God! By 10, you had eyeliner and.
Yeah, like she used to
set
do
it
my
up.
makeup. I was super punky. She used to do the zigzag part in my hair because she was a cool kid.
Wow.
But like then I grew up and now I'm like, oh, all I ever wear is black. I'm actually wearing dark blue today. It's a very special day.
I know, B and I are wearing white.
You were the,
Yeah.
We said the last time we wore black last time.
you were the youngest goth kid in your elementary school.
I
weren't
really
you?
was, yeah. In school, all growing up, they were like, "Are you emo?" And then it turned to, "Are you seen?" I was like, "I just enjoy punky stuff," and I used to dye my
really
hair.
great. You know, when you're a kid, you need to express yourself,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm forever grateful for my family and my mom because my mom would just let me dress myself, no matter how ridiculous I looked. And I literally remember I was probably in first grade to kindergarten. And I wanted long hair, and my mom always cut it, and I would have bangs and hair up to here. I think that's why I just grow my hair out all the time. And I would take my shirt off, and as a little girl, like it would hang on my head.
Aww.
And I would walk around the house with the pink shirt on my head.
That was
with
your
another
long
shirt
hair?
on, and that
That's
was my
so
long.
cute.
That was her
Long pink hair.
And you know, I think that just no matter what you watch. So going back to me watching Friends, I have this tie to Jennifer Aniston just because I love her so much.
Who doesn't?
That right?
Amazing.
And when I saw her at the Golden Globes on TV, I was like, oh my God, Mom. I was like, Mom, that's me. Like, I don't know. I just think people with this platform need to use it right. And
Well, do you think that that's why so many of, because I don't know how much you guys keep up with like the teenage trends now, but I have 2 teenage nieces. One he's about 19 now, so he's kind of still a teen nephew. And I have a bunch of little cousins who are just now turning 13, 14. So I'm very in on the teen trends because I don't get a choice.
Oh my gosh, tell me. I'm like so out of it.
There's the Visco girl, the E-girl,
What
all on
is
TikTok.
Visco girl?
Visco girl, I learned this.
What
Fun
is-
lesson for you guys.
Yes.
So Visco was starting to become the new Instagram, VSCO. It's
So
a
they're-
photo
So it's a
app.
platform.
Oh, so they're younger.
Yes.
Oh, so they're seeing kids' younger sister.
Kind of.
Is that like the best description?
But Visco, so it turned into like you are the ones who carry, you know, the water bottle I have?
yes.
So it's a knockoff one, but the expensive ones are called Hydro Flasks. You carry that,
Oh
you wear
my God.
scrunchies. I'm the punkiest Visco girl, apparently. But you wear scrunchies and you do the friendship bracelets and you do that. And it's like an aesthetic, is the very pastel-y Visco girl. And
So
there's the
far,
Oh
that
my
sounds-
God.
So far, it just sounds
I
like
never heard
so,
of that.
so far it just sounds like I went to summer camps kind of aesthetic.
kind of. Like, do you guys
I could
remember
see that.
Tumblr girls?
Yeah,
It's just the
Tumblr,
new age
Tumblr
girl.
girls. That was
And then there's
really
e-girls,
cool.
which is like what you said. That's like the little anime, little
The
scenes,
scene-
little
the-
sister. Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. I have a niece who is 12. She'll be 13 in June.
Don't let her
and
get a TikTok.
Kills me all the time. No, she has a TikTok.
No, it's
Oh,
so.
God.
So what's TikTok? Is that
TikTok.
like a
I think
dancing?
it's just supposed.
Vine's
I think
replacement.
it's like a Vine.
Yeah,
and
it's a
I miss
musical
Vine.
Vine.
Ooh, I
Right.
remember Vine.
I miss
Vine
Vine.
was really
I can
fun.
quote
Vine was
any
my
Vine
thing.
bet. We should do a finish that Vine on 2020.
Let's do it.
I mean,
Now?
not today, because
Oh, I was
gonna say
Isn't
I have to
Vine
go run
like
the other shows
isn't
soon.
Vine like shut down or something?
Yeah, so
What
Vine got
happened to
shut
Vine?
down, and then there was a Vine 2 that didn't take off yet because there was Musical.ly, and the Musical.ly turned into TikTok,
Oh,
which is like the new Vine, but it's kind of cringier because there's music.
so cringe.
Oh my God, it's so cringy.
So much cringe.
If you
And I
think
mean-
that's a TikTok, look at it. I bet they're singing to songs that you don't want them singing
I think
to.
that what my niece taught me, because my niece, honestly, she's so cool. Like, she's just the coolest girl. I just, I want to be her. She goes out to Montauk. She surfs.
Aw.
Oh my God, she's so cool. But one thing I learned, I was getting her ice cream one time a few months ago, and I drove her. It's, if you're from Long Island, you'll know it. It's called Ralph's Italian Ices. And she goes, Jack.
They extended that into the city.
Oh,
a
good
few
for
years
them
ago.
because
There's
everybody
one
should
right by
have
my
Ralph's.
aunt's apartment. Sorry.
So good. But she looked at me and she goes,
Ralph's.
look at this couple. And I guess it was like one of their Instagram famous people from Disney Channel. She goes, do you ship or dip? Right? Ship or dip?
My
And
friend's
I
little
was like,
sister asked me that.
I was like, Lana, I was like, babe, what are
That's
you
a good
saying?
thing. That's a good thing.
And
Also because
I guess
It's
like
like,
to
do you
ship
like
someone
them?
is like she goes, you give them your blessing. I was like,
Yeah.
honey, I don't think they're going to know if you give them your blessing.
Shipping is like you
so
like them together, or like
Right.
you want to dip out on the pairing. I
Yeah.
learned all this.
so sassy.
It is
It's
sassy.
very-
I'm like, then I'm thinking, what was the cool word when I was her age?
Oh,
But I kind of didn't really pay attention to
Hot
that.
or
I was
not?
weird.
I feel like it was.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think
hot
that
or
was
not.
a thing. I don't think that was a
I
thing.
don't think that was a thing either. But I was also just into sports, and I would be on a hockey ice rink with my father, and I wasn't like paying attention to. But you know what? We didn't have social media like
Yeah.
they did.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
we
We
didn't
had
have social.
MySpace.
And we're at the-
MySpace. Can we
I
wasn't
talk
allowed
about
on
MySpace?
MySpace.
Yes.
How are we coding at age 10?
Oh, bet. I learned HTML coding from, remember those old things where you made your own website?
Yes.
And like now
I
it's
used to do
Wix,
that,
but it
yeah.
wasn't Wix before. I learned HTML
No, we
coding
were
from
literally
that.
coding at age 10.
There's an entire generation.
Tumblr.
The thing, there's an entire generation of website designers who only got into it because they wanted to want to put videos on their
It's so crazy.
MySpace
Yeah.
pages.
Yeah.
Facebook really dropped the ball on that. In that
They
respect.
really did.
But it's really interesting because then you look at Teddy, and Teddy's one of the smartest people that I know.
She
You're
does
able to
lie.
fix but you are. You're able to literally fix anything. And you say that you found that love through MySpace. Now, what are our niece and nephew's generation going to become?
They need to become
Well,
coders.
that's why
Oh
I get
my
really
God.
nervous when I hear people and they're like, "Oh, don't put your kids on social media. You don't want your kid playing video games. You want your kid doing that." I'm like, I learned everything I know because I was playing video games, and I'm sure Hector did too because I know you wanted to do video game coding.
I wanted to do
Like-
I wanted to do the game art and design. I learned how to do I learned how to do some design stuff. I learned how to do some of the asset designs from gaming. Coding was something entirely different.
But still, you wanted to do it for video gaming. I wanted to learn video gaming stuff, and like, I'm sorry, I'm not
That's
smart enough
true.
to code for video games. It's so hard.
I tried
But,
coding.
like-
It's balls difficult, man.
It is. It's really, but like also like you said, from Tumblr and MySpace and
Yeah.
making their own things, I
Well,
learned coding. So
totally.
if you don't allow your kid on Instagram, which is now how kids are learning how to market themselves and brand
Yeah, no,
themselves.
that's actually really true.
because that's something our generation I feel like has a
Yeah.
really big issue with.
Yeah.
I don't know
learning
how
how
to
to
do
sell,
that.
learning how to sell this stuff. I know it's kind of weird that before all this internet stuff, the first lesson I got in selling stuff was Boy Scouts, and that was mostly finding out.
Right.
That was mostly funny that I couldn't really sell any. I couldn't sell anything, so my little sister had to walk
What do the
around.
Boy Scouts sell? Popcorn? Okay. Is
Do
it
you guys
low
want to hear a
fat
really
popcorn?
funny Girl Scout story?
Yes.
So when I was a kid, I was a Girl Scout, right? But in Boca, if you don't know, I grew up in Boca Raton. You're not really allowed to go like house to house because it's dangerous.
And B, it's Florida. It's extra dangerous.
Florida, but also a lot of neighborhoods, the HOAs don't allow that. Okay. So like even if I lived in my neighborhood, which obviously I do, I can't go house to house because it's a gated community. Most communities are gated or secured. So my parents used to buy you had to like sell 32 boxes of cookies or something. They would buy all the boxes and then just sell them to my out-of-state relatives.
Good
That's
idea.
really
So
cute.
that I always got like #1 cookie seller badges because my parents just bought all of them.
You just leaked your secret.
Also,
I really did.
Also, you may have inadvertently use the same business model that Amazon does.
For sure.
Gosh.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think that because we do have to wrap up and Teddy has to get back, excuse me again. But I think with this whole 2020 vision, let's really take it into 2020 and just inspire and do more to talk about the uncomfortable things like anxiety and depression and stress
and everything that's not involved, anything that doesn't involve politics, because apparently we're not allowed to talk about
well,
it.
yeah,
talk
like
about politics.
but I think that
religion.
it's really important to keep in mind, it is a new year and with the new year does come pressures, but I think everybody should focus on this year is how to deal with the pressures instead of trying to get rid of them. You're never going to get rid of them and you're only going to stress yourself out more. I know from experience because I would try to hide and hide and hide and you just crash even harder.
And keep that in mind with everyone starting school. I know school starts next week, the week after. Yeah.
I'm already taking classes already. It's like,
oh my gosh.
I'm
when
tired.
Do you graduate? This year?
Next year. I am
oh my
so
gosh.
excited.
I graduate
cannot
next
come.
semester and I cannot wait.
Oh my god.
It's like,
I graduated like a year and a half ago. I'm old.
I'm jealous of you guys.
The stressors. No, college is like no joke. And then a lot of us were balancing internships, full-time jobs,
school.
And even if you're not in
Social
school,
life.
I mean, like work sometimes isn't fun.
Yeah.
And like you really have to love what you do. And I knew that from my mother. I learned from my father to do something that you like because he hated what he did.
What do you do?
But he likes construction. He just hated where he was. My mom loves what she does. But Dawn and Freddie, Dawn literally just said to me, she said, is every day fun? No. But is every day on the set fun? Yes. Because I love it. And I think that's something super important to teach everybody and to keep in mind for yourself. Because your happiness comes first.
Right? Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
This is the cheesiest thing ever that I'm going to say.
I'm ready.
But the saying when they're like, when you're on a plane and the flight attendant says, put the oxygen mask over your face before anyone else.
Yes.
But take care of yourself in 2020.
Absolutely.
Take care of yourself and do what you need to. And know that fun isn't always the first thing that happens sometimes. But you'll get there. You'll get there.
And listen, if you're young, if you're a millennial and you're in your 20s, it is for working. So put in that work, get that out.
See, I'm the exact opposite too. I'm like taking time off work all the time. Like I want to travel on the 20s.
So
Don't
am
be
I.
like me. I'm irresponsible.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
No, but Teddy, you're like one of the most responsible people that I know.
I'm so money irresponsible. That's a show for another time.
That's a show for next week.
So I gotta go work the other show.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Share it out, push it out, tell a friend, and comment what you want us to talk about next week if there is something. And if not, then we'll just have to come up with something on the spot again.
Finish that vine.
Finish that vine.
Hashtag finish that vine.
Finish that vine. Subscribe, share, do whatever you got to do, but just let everyone know about us. Thanks again. I'm Jackie.
I'm Beatrice.
I'm Teddy.
I'm Hector.
And that was 2020.
Okay. I'm coming.
Stop.
Talk for another minute.
And
wait, just kidding. We're back again.
But see, this isn't perfect.
Yeah.
The world isn't perfect.
No, it's
And,
crazy.
And now,
what you can say
and now
in
10 minutes of
unscripted.
beatboxing.